Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm fresh from the live announcement of PS4. A little bit disappointing, there wasn't actually that much about the PS4 in it, but I'm going to try and cover the key features and do it a lot quicker than they did, because they took 2.5 hours to do it. Obviously they had a lot more better graphics and everything like that will, but I'll have some screenshots of some of the games they announced, and a couple of other things in the background for you to look at. So first off, the first thing they announced was PS Vita is going to expand in its functionality. They did seem to focus a lot on the PS Vita, like they're trying to sell it again, but hopefully they're going to end with that. But it's going to apparently expand, and also it's going to apparently be able to be used almost like a remote control for the PS4. Oh yeah, and it's definitely going to be called the PS4. I know some people are like, oh, it might not be called that, it might not be called that, but it's definitely going to be the PS4. A little bit of specs on it. They're going to be using a traditional x86 CPU, an enhanced PC GPU, not exactly sure which one, but it's basically going to be an enhanced graphics processing unit, so very, very powerful. That's what all the developers have been saying. But it's going to have 8 gig of RAM, which is GDDR5, very, very powerful. The first games console ever to have that. Not even many PCs, not even many gaming PCs have that, so that should be quite good. And it's going to be a hard drive for the storage. Not sure what the sizes are going to be yet, but they're going to be hard drive, not solid state drive. So that's basically the components and the specs of the PS4. Obviously they're going to have to release a new controller, the DualShock 4. A couple of new features. It's going to look very similar to the old one. It's going to have a touchpad, so that's going to, I don't know, it seems kind of similar to what the Wii U did, but miniaturized. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But they've also got a share button, which is going to directly on the controller, so you're going to be able to directly share from whatever game you're in, through social networking sites and things like that. So that should be cool as well. It's also going to have a headphone jack on the controller itself. Not a big revolutionary thing that, but quite cool. And it's also going to have a light bar sensor built into the front of the controller, and you're going to have I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to get it with the PS4 or whether you have to buy it separately, but a sensor bar, kind of like the PlayStation Move sensor bar, built in directly into the controller. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but it's a good idea. Okay, moving directly on to the new games. The ones they announced or went over again in the announcements was Knack. That looks like quite a cool game. Basically, you're like this little robot thing which can gather in debris and grow and evolve, and doesn't matter if you get hit because you just separate and then come back in again. So that looks like quite a cool idea, quite cartoony graphics, nothing really revolutionary there, but looks like quite a cool idea for a game. Killzone Shadowfall, now that looks like a good game. That looks like a really good game. The graphics looked amazing. Like, that looks like a revolutionary game, and it looks like a game you can really spend hours playing and get really involved in. So I'm really looking forward to that. They didn't really go into much about what it's going to be like, but looks spectacular. Drive Club, again, that looks like quite a revolutionary game. They've never done a driving game like this, at least not in this graphic set, or this bigger scale. Basically, the idea behind it, from what I got, is you can make your own racing club, where you and your friends are part of one racing club, and then you can challenge other racing clubs, enter tournaments, and this is all against other live players. I'm not entirely sure whether you can play against computer players or if there's going to be a separate career mode, but it looks like you can actually just get your own car, customize it, and enter it into competitions live online. Set your own times, challenge other people to race against it in certain conditions, and it's also, you can one of the things they did in the announcement is you can step outside the car, look under the hood, walk around it, and they do look really good. And they also went into a lot of detail in making sure the cars were exactly spot on with their dimensions. So hopefully they're going to get that really, really spot on, because it's a good idea. Not sure how it's going to work out, but the idea is sound. Next is something called Second Son. That's from Capcom. That looks pretty cool. So Second Son looks kind of like a set in medieval times, and also that you can kind of invite your friends in to help you out no matter where you are, like go on quests, that kind of thing. They only did a trailer for it, so there's no actual gameplay, but the trailer was basically you fighting a dragon and things like that. So that was good graphics as well. That looks cool. So it's good to see Capcom coming in strong. Something called... Oh no, sorry. I got the wrong one there. That's Deep Down. I do apologise. I get my facts wrong. The one I just described is called Deep Down from Capcom. I do apologise. Second Son is something slightly different. That's the new Infamous game. That is going to be basically... The world has basically deteriorated into something where security is gone wild. Everything is monitored, everything is kept very as secure as possible, and it's kind of like a police state. But these certain individuals, or maybe just one person, they weren't too clear on that, have special superpowers. The one they showed in the trailers was like he was on fire, and he could shoot fire bolts from his hands and things like that, and he could teleport himself into places. It looked quite cool. So yeah, I do apologise, that's Second Son. I've already gone through Deep Down. And the one I really liked, and my personal favourite, and I think a lot of people's personal favourites, something called Watch Dogs. Now, this looks very similar kind of environment to like a GTA game, or any other kind of free roam game, but with a twist. You have like a phone, or I think it's the phone that does it, that can access everything. So every electronical piece of equipment in the entire world, this phone can access. So whether that be road systems, so like bollards which rise from the road, you can control those from the phone. A junction box sitting on a wall, you can just click your phone and that thing will explode and knock whoever you're chasing off their feet. That was actually in the trailer. And you can also, like, the camera can get people's faces and then tell you pretty much everything about that person. Their ATM, their credit card details, so you can just go to an ATM and get all their stuff. You can get pretty much whatever you like. I don't know, if you had that power, you would be able to rule the world. But, again, that looks really, really sweet. It's free roam. It looks like you can get into cars and other vehicles. Not too sure whether you can get into planes and stuff, or helicopters or boats, but you can definitely get into cars. So that looks really, really cool. So those are all the games that I found interesting. I won't go through all of them, but those look really cool. Couple of other features. There's a suspend and resume feature built into the PS4, which is for fast booting. So basically, you can put it to sleep, hibernate it, which takes up very, very, very little power, but means when you want to come back to the game, it stores it in the cache memory, and you can come back to it straight away. So again, that's cool. You can also download games with the power off, and also downloadable games are playable during the actual download. So you can only download a small amount of it and play it while the rest of it is downloading. The interface is also redesigned. I didn't really like the interface on PS3, so it's good to see that they're changing that. And also, like I went to before, the sharing feature, that's going to be very, very, very simple. You can be able to do that right from inside the console, right while you're during gameplay. You don't have to come out of it. You can actually do that during the gameplay, so you don't have to exit all to do it. You just pause it. And also, one feature, which I think is probably the coolest feature, is like remote access on laptops and PCs and stuff, where someone can come in and control your laptop. Someone can do this with your PS4, as long as obviously you give them permission. So if you're struggling with a certain level or opponent in a game, you can ask your friend to do it for you if you know they've already done it. So I think that's really cool. I think you can also use a PS Vita to do this, which is what I was on about earlier. And the last thing I'm going to mention is they've announced it's going to be the fastest gaming network ever. Whether this is going to be faster than the new Xbox console, who knows? But Xbox haven't released any information on that yet. So as of now, PS4 is going to have the fastest gaming network ever. Obviously, depending on your internet connection, but that should be really, really useful. Stop all the lagging, hosting issues. So that should be awesome. Right, I tried to break that down into 10 minutes when PS4 or Sony, sorry, took 2.5 hours. Done all the key features, done all the things that interested me, and I'm gonna sign off. So see you later, guys. I'll put up a video tomorrow. Bye.